Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Frostbites. I am Kelly Frost. Today we had Ebtehal on our show, and as well as, of course, the beautiful Dionne Malush. We had such a great conversation with her today as we learned about building bridges and what that means, as well as so much talk about art and Shenley Park and a lot about Pittsburgh, of course. Stick around, we will be right back. Hey guys, here we are with another episode of Frostbites, and we are jumping right in with Ebtehal. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
You did it perfectly.
Yes, we've been practicing. I'm telling you what, I'm so bad with names, and yours is just a little bit hard to sometimes say.
You even
so.
got my name right. I was impressed. I was in the hallway, and I heard you say it. I was like, good girl. I've known you a long time. It's still people still say it wrong. They always say Dionne Malush instead of Dionne Malush.
Oh.
So the vowels are messed up. I mean, my
How about
parents,
that?
that was their idea. They did it, but you did good.
I mean, I'm a Kelly Frost.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
I have like the easiest name ever. Nobody ever messes mine up. So, well, thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate it. And I don't know what's going on. Every time I turn around, I'm running into you everywhere.
Yes.
Right? I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah. So we were at an event on Friday at the PTL event.
Okay.
And one of our girlfriends had an extra ticket because somebody couldn't make it. And I put something out and I just said, hey, have an extra ticket if anybody wants it. And then I saw a message from her and she just said, hey, do you still have a ticket? I was, yep. And then we got to hang out on Friday.
Yeah.
What
And
does
she,
PTL stand for?
Pittsburgh Today Live.
Oh, see, I thought it was Praise the Lord.
Oh, well, it
I
could.
mean, remember that years ago there was a show called PTL?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So we
That's
get to hang
good.
out on Friday.
So
and
you
then-
went to that event?
Yes.
It was a
yes.
really great
Good.
event.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I
Had
did.
fun?
It was their live 20th anniversary
Wow.
event.
I need to pay more attention.
It was at the Pittsburgh Playhouse, which I haven't been to. That was
I've
the first
never
time I
been
was there. So I used to go there as a kid,
You did?
but it was a different building. Yeah. I mean, this was a long time ago, but yeah, when I was a kid, we used to go and watch plays there. Once a month, a bunch of us would go, and our mothers would take us, and it was a really nice event that we would do when we were little. We used to look forward to it. And this was, it was really nice.
It was
It
Billy
was-
Porter. He was.
Oh. See, that's
Yeah.
like the noise you make. Oh my gosh. So I knew he was going to be there, and I had kind of caught wind that he was going to sing.
Really?
I was set like 7 seats back.
Okay.
And when he came out, like he spoke for a little bit and did an interview, and then he came out and sang. I swear I still have goosebumps.
It was so good.
Oh, I've never heard him live. And that was the first time.
And
I
you-
never heard him singing.
Oh
It
my
was the
gosh.
first time hearing him singing. I met him in person 2 years ago. He had his book release, and I heard him reading some chapter of the book. And he said, "Do you have any questions?" And I raised my hand. I said, "How do you build bridges between people?" And he, what he said, it really spoke to my heart.
Do you remember what he said?
It was a quote by Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it love bring love and hate
Hate
bring
brings
hate?
Right.
Yes.
It's so simple, right? It's
It
such a
is.
simple thing to say,
Yeah.
but not do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's incredible. I mean, his voice is just insane, but everything that comes behind that too.
And his presence too. They were signing books, his book, and I asked, I asked the staff there. I would love to invite him to add a symbolic brushstroke to bring us together. They said, we don't think he will have time. And then I thought, okay, gonna go in line, and I had my canvas with me and a brush and a paint and ready.
You did?
Yes, in line. And I have his book to sign, and he signed my book. And I told him, I would love for you to paint to bring us together. He looked at me and he told me, okay, wait here on the side. And then he did.
He did?
Painted. We took a picture together, and just like it warmed my heart. Like, you know, when you ask and someone, you know, just kindly give you part of his time, and he have a very abundant schedule. I was so happy.
I always say that a lot. The most powerful 3-letter word in the English language is ask. Right? You never know until you ask. And just ask. You did it. You asked, and he said yes. If he just said no, it would have been okay because you still tried.
Yeah.
I love that you did that. Yeah. That's really cool.
And that's my mantra. Like, what else is possible? That's like, I go every day on that, you know, question, what else is possible? If I don't ask, you know, how would I know? And I always ask, you know, if I ask, what's the worst will happen?
You say no.
I say no.
That's good. Move on to the next
Yeah.
one. Next.
But you weren't always like that, were you?
No. I read a book that really changed my mind, my state of mind. It's called Being You, Changing the World. And the core of the book is asking questions. When you ask questions, you know, you open new doors of possibility. And I learned that question, what else of possible, from that book. And also another question, how does it get any better than this? So I always ask these two questions, because sometimes we're very happy and we think that's the ceiling of, you know, of our imagination. But there is more. So whenever you say, how does it get any better than this? You open the door. And also, when you are in the worst moment in your life, what else is possible? Because we think that's the closing door. There is no more door. This is the end. There is these moments that you have in your life that you feel all doors closed. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. When you ask that question, what else is possible? It shifts your mindset. It shifts the narrative in your head.
Oh my goodness.
So good.
So I was watching your TED Talk yesterday, and I said, this is like the second guest we've had today that had a TED Talk. I'm like, there's something going on, something in the water, something in the air. Yes. But I love TED Talks, right? So I'm watching yours, and something you said in there was about you used to be afraid to ask questions. You used to be afraid to ask people for things.
Yes.
And then one day you were just said, I'm going to ask. I'm just going to ask questions. I'm going to ask people for things. And then you got your first yes.
Yes. Oh, that's first yes. It's still in my heart. It's been 5 years, but I still remember it as yesterday, because that was a milestone in my journey. Right. And he was the principal of my son middle school. Now my son is a senior. And his name is Mr. Como. He's principal of Pleasant Hill Middle School. I always say his name because he was the first yes. I design Pittsburgh builds bridges. And I design it because my intention was to bring people together. Okay. After my son he had several racism comments at the locker. He played hockey in one of the local teams. And it hurts that my son went through that. And I also thought of the other kids, what they've been through to do something like this. And the same year, I saw a Syrian refugee was beaten up at one of the high school in Pittsburgh. I also thought, how can someone record this and don't call for help? So after all of that, I decided, and I had my intention in my heart, I want to bring people together. And that's why I create Pittsburgh Builds Bridges. It was just a tiny, tiny sketch. And I took it to Mr. Como. I shared with him, I believe if we display this in the school, it will uplift student. He said yes. He said yes. And it just, and that changed my world. You know.
And then now you're not afraid to ask.
No. Sometimes I do it just like
Maybe
a little bit nervous, yes.
Nervous, but not afraid.
Yes.
There's a big difference between the two of those.
Yes, that's so true. Yeah.
But now you're asking so many people to do what you want them to do, and they are.
Yes, they are.
Now, I met her about a year ago, probably more than a year,
Yeah.
at a networking event. I am not artistic at all. It's so bad. It's embarrassing how non-artistic I am. And we're walking around this event, and I see her, and she has her canvas and her paints and everything else. And she asked me to paint, and I said, "Oh, I will ruin that." I know myself. And she said, "No, you won't. You won't. You won't. Just brush a little." And I was like, "Oh, you don't understand. You don't want me anywhere near paint or brushes or what you're doing. What else can I do for you? I will do anything else but paint." She was the sweetest thing, and she just kept asking, and she was like, "No, you will." I didn't paint, but I pretended to, so she could get a picture, and then we did this, the hug, and then
yes,
go ahead.
We were celebrating World International Women Day.
Okay.
And they have every year they have a different theme. So the theme that year it was this. You know, every year they have a theme. So we did that, and we took a picture together, and she shared with me how she built bridges between people.
Yep. And she had a microphone, and she was going around, and she was recording, and that I could do.
Yes, definitely you can do that. Don't let her paint, but you can let her talk.
Yep. Yeah. So and then ever since then, I have been following her and seeing what she was doing, and incredible things in Pittsburgh. That's what you've been doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Really. So every time I run into her, it's like a catch up to see, okay, now what are you doing? Now what are you doing?
And now what are you doing?
But I mean, really courageous. We were talking about what's one word that you would, say for somebody. Courageous. That's really the word for you.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's taken so much courage for everything that you've been doing. It took courage for you to speak to the principal. It took courage for you to go to these networking events and then step out of a comfort zone that all of us suffer from.
Yes.
It's hard to go to networking events. It's hard to speak to women that you don't know. It's hard to ask somebody, "Here, paint something for me." It's hard to ask somebody, "Here, will you, do a short little interview or say something?" The fact that you can go up to people like that, that's very courageous. Really, honestly. I mean, it is
hard. Networking, it's hard sometimes. I know myself, I've been in business so long, but you get overwhelmed by a room filled with people and you don't know where to start. And then you just kind of step back and don't talk because you don't know where to start. So even as many years as I've been in Pittsburgh and been in business, I still have that trepidation, of doing that. So it's a big deal. So tell me what else. Tell me what you do. I want to learn about you.
I was going to say, let's rewind.
Let's
from the
rewind.
beginning. So you're from Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, I'm from Saudi Arabia, and now Pittsburgh is my home.
How long have you been in Pittsburgh?
Almost 9 years.
Do you love it?
Yeah, I do. Good. I do. It gave me the gift of building bridges.
You're right. There's no other city that has many bridges.
Yeah.
Right. So you went to West Virginia for your master's? Is that
yes, correct? I had my master in industrial hygiene.
Okay.
From
what
WV.
Is that? Yes, because I read that and I was like, I thought
that's a unique one. I don't think I've ever met anyone that had. An
so I went to school for industrial and organizational psychology, and I thought that was strange. And then I read, and I was like, wait a minute, okay. So explain your major. What is that?
OSHA, they have different regulations. So they hire industrial hygienists to make sure that, the company hire us to make sure that they follow OSHA regulations so they don't get cited.
I see. Okay, that makes sense.
I just study it. I never work with it. I tried to find a part-time job, and I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. It wasn't me. It's just, it was a really hard major, especially I am from Saudi Arabia, so everything is in Arabic, another language. And here you're studying chemistry, physics, and Excel, and doing all of these things in a different language. And master degree. I was always at the office hours asking questions. Please explain this. How do I do this? Okay, I'm gonna do it.
But you did it.
Yeah, I did it.
Hard or not.
Yeah.
So what brought you to Pittsburgh?
My husband, he got like a job here, and then my kids went to school here. So that's how we start, our life in Pittsburgh. And I love it. It's just, there is warm in Pittsburgh. And
there's not much sun.
Yeah.
There's warm. there is.
Yeah.
I crack myself up sometimes.
Yeah, and every time I go to a place and connect with people, I feel Pittsburgh is changing and shifting in new ways and loving ways.
I agree. Yeah. It is a beautiful city.
Yeah.
So 9 years you've lived here.
Yes.
And now tell us what you do.
So I started this 5 years ago. Okay. And before, 9 years ago. In 9 years ago, I started loving journey. I had different challenges in my life. So I went to dig in deeper. I did a lot of meditation, a lot of yoga, self-development classes. And I went back to art. Art is my first thing that I love. I was in 5th grade when I was younger, and we took an art workshop class at school. Mm-hmm. And I wrote a note to myself, when I grow up, I want to go to art school.
You did?
I still have that note until,
you did?
Yes. I didn't show it, even my family, they don't know about this note. I just hid it there. And I grew up. I want to go to art school, but everyone told me art is a hobby. So that's why I went to science. And 9 years ago, when I started the self-loving journey, I went back to art. And I show my family that note. They say, we didn't know. We didn't know.
They didn't? You didn't show it to them? So
no, I didn't. They told me, if we know, we would encourage you to go and go to art. We didn't know. But I shared with them because I want to share that that's been my first love, and they're supporting me now because I start loving myself enough to go for my dreams. After I start loving myself, then everyone around me starts supporting me. And that's when I share that to show them, thank you. That's been all along. Some ask me, when art? What art has been there all my life? Yeah.
I went to art school.
Really?
I went to Art Institute. Mm-hmm. I loved it.
It's beautiful.
It was amazing. I'd always had a love of art, and my dad was an artist.
Oh, wow.
And so I followed his path. Everything my dad did, I did. He played the drums, I played the drums. He loved football, I love football. He loved Corvettes, I love Corvettes. He went to art school, I went to art school. So, but I started a graphic design business immediately. I graduated, started a business, and it was incredible. I did it for about 17 years. And then I got into a partnership that really destroyed the company. So then I started real estate and kind of married the two. Like, I was a creative real estate agent, which was not normal because when I started, Microsoft Word is how most agents created things. So I was coming out of the gate doing all kinds of new stuff, and it was really helpful. But my true passion is creativity, and I can see, like, right now, same as you, I'm going through that point in my life where I want to figure out what I love the most, because I'm on the backside of life now.
Yeah.
And I don't have 50 years left. So that's kind of where I'm at, but I love hearing your story because that makes me just feel even more confident that what I love is truly creativity. And
I love that. Yeah. They say time is illusion. Yeah. So, you still have a lot of time.
Thank you for saying that to her.
You can
But if I don't, it's okay too. I mean, I'm okay with whatever it is, but I would love to do something that's successful and creative, so that's kind of where I'm at, and doing things like this is creative. And
yes.
I have my own podcast, I'm doing that, and I'm creating a lot of stuff. I did my Vivid Vision this year. I don't know if you've ever heard of a Vivid Vision.
What's a Vivid? I know vision board, but I don't.
So it's kind of an idea of a vision board, but instead it's it's a book that I created, 12-page book with the words and the pictures.
I love that.
Totally different. I'd love to send it to you and share it with you.
Yes,
But-
please.
So my creativity this year has sparked that so much, and then the podcast and doing things that I was jumping out of my comfort zone. So I love that message you're giving to us today.
And being able to jump out of your comfort zone is crucial.
It's so huge. I just honestly, physically, it hurts. If I could use my hand like I did when I was 30, but as you get older, it's not as easy to keep that mouse
Yeah,
going
I
all
know.
day long. So
My mouse is this big now.
Oh, you have a big mouse.
I have one of those like
Help.
it's like I get handicapped.
Yeah.
You know,
I might
I
need
don't know
that.
what other word to use for it, but
Yeah.
that is what it is. But it helps with your hands.
Nice. I did not know about
You
that.
can work a lot longer.
Good. See, I have to make a note of that.
Good, bad, or whatever, but yeah, you can work a lot longer with it.
But I love that side of. I love like walking in here. For me, this office it's so much creativity that I'm like, this is my dream office. Right? I love this.
Me too. I love that.
I love it.
MINC Studio is amazing.
It is.
Every time anybody walks in here, they're like, "Oh my gosh,
It's positive. It's encouraging.
show me around." And every room is so different. That's what I love about here.
It's like taking you to different seasons,
Right.
you know, and just every corner there's different decoration that take you to another journey. I love that.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm reading everything about you, of course. So are you a writer?
Yeah, I used to wake up every morning before sunrise and do meditation and prayer and then start like a blog. It's called Pulse of My Life. And I start writing and then doing a sketch. I stopped that now, but I want to go back into it again. And I take that, what I write, and send it to everyone I know and to share. Every day is something different. It's like what I receive from the sunrise, that moment, or how do I feel at that moment of time. I love it. I love to write since I'm little.
Okay, well, I want on that list. When you start doing that again,
too.
yeah, I want to
Put me
get
on
that.
your email list.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And then if you want to put it out, we'll start putting that out.
Oh, thank you.
Daily encouragement. It's really nice.
I mean, that's really, it's exciting to get that from people too, because then people start to look forward to that.
Yeah, they used to look forward for it, and a lot of my close family, they wait for me to send it, and they give me some tips for grammar and
Nice.
I'm a pretty good editor.
Maybe you should create an app that you could get a daily inspiration with the drawing. That would be awesome.
I like
You get, and people, I love it. I have this motivational app that's on my phone every day. It pops up,
too.
and I read it every single day. But I don't get a picture with it every day. But I kind of
mine
like
doesn't.
that idea. That would be kind of fun. Something to
On
think
my
about.
Instagram, I do that with the podcast.
Yeah.
So I have a photo of whoever I do the podcast with, and then I have a little motivational something that's in the middle of it, and then I have the photo of the actual podcast,
I love
the
it.
cover of it. So you'll be on that. And you're a photographer too?
Yeah, I love creativity. So photography also is creativity. I use also after I do my morning meditation and write and paint, then I take my camera and I start taking picture of nature, anything. Sometimes we go on a walk and we don't see the things around us. And when I start, walking in these walks, oh my God, I didn't see that flower yesterday. Oh, there's that tree. And, so I start taking picture of small, things or insect or flowers or a leaf. It opened that creative side in my brain. And, and one time, I took a wedding picture. I was the wedding photographer for that wedding, but I just did it one time just to try it. And
enjoy it.
I like it. But it's just like it's a lot of time. You take a lot of picture, and for me, they will not get married again. That's
You hope.
yeah. So I asked my friend, she's a professional photographer. She do this weddings every day. What do I do? She told me to take as much as picture as I can, and I did, and it was great. They like it.
But editing and doing all of the work.
Editing. Yeah, it took so long.
Post-production's
to edit.
a lot.
Yes, it is.
There's a lot that goes into that. Yeah. So you like a lot of nature then, right?
Yes. Nature, it just release all that, negativity you have or you carry at the end of the day. Just like it connect you really to your heart. And I feel nature is the best way to meditate.
I have such a hard time meditating.
Yeah.
I love it. I just don't do it.
I can't. I always say I can't get my brain to shut off.
You don't need to shut it off.
That's what I keep hearing.
Just taking that deep breath and let that thought go as a cloud and just go. But it just breathing. That's the meditation, is the breathing. Because we are in a very fast mode. And when we just sit down, just the box breathing or any type of breathing, it help take us to the present moment. And
it makes sense. And I actually learned transcendental meditation. And
what is that?
Oh, it's amazing. So there's a man in Pittsburgh that teaches it, and he teaches you how to use a mantra to go into a meditation, and you always do. And I didn't know how to do it before. I could not do it until I learned this. But it actually helped me so much that my resting heart rate went from 90-some to 60s.
Wow.
And it's for medical reasons. If you go to tm.org and check it out, it's unbelievable what it does for health benefits and mind benefits. But it's an easy way of doing it. You do it in the morning at 9 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the evening, and you learn a mantra that he teaches you. It's just a one-word mantra that only you and him know. No one else in the world knows my mantra. Yeah. And so, but it's easy to do, especially if you struggle with it. But then I think as you learn, so I did it, and then now I don't. And it doesn't make sense because I know it helped me. Yeah. And so I love it. I love yoga. And
we need to get back to that.
I know. That would probably be a good idea right now at this time I'm in, this season that I'm in. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I love it. So,
So where's your favorite place to go in nature? Is there a spot in Pittsburgh that just is your go-to spot, or somewhere that you just find exceptionally beautiful in Pittsburgh?
Shenley Park. I love that park. Just looking, and you can see the whole city, and I love it. But daily, I just go around my neighborhood. But my favorite spot is Shenley Park.
I've never been to Shenley Park.
It is really pretty.
Go.
You should.
I know.
You learned so much stuff today of things you should be doing.
I know. That's why I did a podcast. But honestly, I've been in Pittsburgh since I was 5.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's so many places. I mean, growing up, we didn't really venture out at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't probably until I was married pretty young, and we didn't really venture out. It probably wasn't until my 30s or late 20s that I really started to do much in Pittsburgh and was able to do things.
Yes.
And there's so many things I feel I missed, or I missed out on, or things that have closed and I never got a chance to do. And I hear people talk about them, and I feel like, oh, I wish I would have seen that. I wish I would have done that. So now I feel like I have this huge bucket list, and I don't like that word, but lack of.
Yeah.
But this huge list of things that I want to go see, I want to go do. So now when people ask me, do you want to do this? I always try to say yes.
Yeah.
I try to say yes to as many things as I possibly can. Probably to a downfall, because I'm constantly running around. People like, oh, you're always out. They don't know. They don't know my background. I know that because I never used to do anything.
Yeah.
So now I feel like there's so much catching up to do, that I want to see and do and experience. And life is short.
Yes.
I want to taste it all and do it all and, go everywhere. Yeah. But, I've never been to Shenley Park.
It's not
simple,
that far,
right?
Right, it's an easy one.
Right?
You should make an effort to do it.
Yeah, it's really beautiful view. And before one time I went there, it was night, and they were doing a stargazing. And I don't know them. They were just in the park. I said, can I see the stars with you? They said yes.
See, she's not afraid to ask anything.
Right.
You just ask everything. I love that.
So, yeah.
But that is a lesson for us all.
It is.
You know, if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Yeah.
You know, and you've been asking so many questions, and you're getting so many yeses.
Yes.
But look at all the experiences that you're getting, and the people that you. We're sitting there talking. She's like, "Oh yes, I know so and so." And how do you know them? Well, I just asked them to paint.
Yeah.
I just asked them to do this. I just asked them. I'm like, oh, I need to take a page out of your book
Right.
and
Her
start
TED Talk.
asking people
Right.
for things instead of just assuming people aren't going to want to do it. Or,
Yes.
Or I'm bothering someone, right? Or they're going to say no, or oh, I don't want to talk to that person. They're not going to want to talk to me. So many people think that way, and I know that you had in the past, and now you don't.
Yeah, just like Pittsburgh builds bridges, and that book, it really, I have that vision and passion in my heart that just I go for it. I you know, that's it's like I'm passionate about it. When you're passionate, you know, what's bigger, your passion or your fear?
Yeah.
For a lot of people, it's the fear.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why? What, you know, we start asking, where is this fear coming from? Because it's get to come somewhere in your life. So you go back talking to yourself, okay, what I'm really afraid of? What's the real reason that I'm afraid of? And, you know, start questioning yourself to get to the root cause of it. And then you can step into courage and taking that just small step forward. And it give you that momentum. After that's, it's just, sometimes it's that first step is the hardest.
Yeah. For so many.
I agree. You said you were studying personal development for a while.
Yeah.
Do you still?
I do like I go to different leadership workshop, and I love learning.
Me too.
I love learning. I always love to learn a lot of things. So I'm still going sometimes to different workshop.
Me too. I love to learn.
Oh, you need to. I mean, there's always something to learn.
Yes.
Things are changing so rapidly, too. You know? Yeah. So how many bridges are in Pittsburgh?
445 bridge.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I go to schools, so they will test me.
She kept saying that she's a bridge builder, and she said Pittsburgh's a great place to be building bridges.
So good.
Yeah.
I love this idea. And I guess I feel like someone should have thought of it a lot earlier. Like it should have been now you made it a thing. It's really cool what you're doing.
And it's changed, like it's really changed through the years. Like it have a life of its own.
I bet.
Oh.
You know, it was a tiny sketch, and it just keeps changing every year.
So this is what she did. So explain to Dionne, because I know the story behind it, but explain to her what that actually means.
So, like, there's different fist hand with different skin tone, and why I chose a fist to represent, you know, unity, and everyone is proud of their identity.
Okay.
And on top of it, there's different belief symbols that show, you know, our diversity. And I chose a bridge because we are the city of bridges.
Of course.
And that's how it all started.
So is that the original sketch that you did? This one, or is this?
Yes.
Yes.
this
Okay.
one. I have my original sketch at
You
home.
do?
It took me months and months to put it together because the fist hand is all the same level to show that we're all together. Yes. It took me months to finish it and to bring it together because I painted with a very tiny brush. The symbols, everything in it.
I see you even have tattoo on one too.
Yeah.
Wow. And see, when I looked at this before, I didn't see the symbols. Now I see them. Now I understand what that means.
So
really
it's so
Love it.
simple, but so complex
Yeah.
and so powerful. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's really good.
You know, one of the symbols is atheism. So before I was painting at the market square, I had that was the first story of that canvas. So after I sketch my design and show it to the principal, he said, yes, we display it as a poster. It was a poster before. And then my friends shared with me to go to Penn Avenue to display my art there. I have different art too. So every time I go to a restaurant or coffee shop, they told me there is a 8 months waiting list, a year waiting list.
Wow.
And it's just, I remember this, it was very hard for me. Start walking Penn Avenue 2019, praying, is this my path? This is so challenging. God, show me a sign. I want a sign now.
Yeah.
And then I got my sign. My friend called me and she shared with me that her younger son experienced an anxiety, panic attacks because his older brother was an athlete and he was bullied badly. And because of that, he had these anxiety attacks. One of the attack, he saw my design at the school cafeteria. He felt he belonged and he got better.
That's amazing. Wow.
Right? You want to talk about making a difference, right?
So much impact.
When she shared with me that, like, I cried. I got my sign, and you know, I was there for someone else's child. I have children. I was there for him, you know. And then I got my vision. What if I display Pittsburgh Bills Bridges in all schools in Pittsburgh, and find a wall to paint it as a mural with different kids and different sports team here in Pittsburgh, the Penguin, the Steelers, the Pirates, the Riverhounds, to show even if we look different, even if we have different belief, even if we cheer for different sports team, we still can come together to plant these seeds of love and acceptance. I never paint a mural in my life. Yeah, but it came to me. I saw it in my mind eye. I saw it. And I felt really that's my vision, that's my calling. And I started going, I went everywhere to ask, where's that wall? I want that wall. Where can I find that wall? I am not from Pittsburgh. I went sometimes in gas station when I fill my car. I open houses with my kids. Like after we talk about the kids, I ask, do you know a wall? Do you know, like, how can I do this? One time, my friend shared that Jason Momoa is coming here to film a movie. They're looking for extra. Then I thought, if I was in that movie and I talked to Jason Momoa and he took a picture with me in Pittsburgh Bills Bridges, everyone in Pittsburgh will give me a wall. So that was my plan. I went there and they told me, you can't even look at him.
Well, that stinks. You can't look at him?
You can't look at him where we're filming because imagine if all the women there looking at Jason Momoa, they will not film a movie.
I could not say that I would not be staring at him.
Like this, with one eye closed, yeah.
Just saying, yeah.
So I went there. They picked me as one of the extras. And he was on top of me, like he was here. And I can't even do this, just like here, pretending to eat. Like it was the movie called Sweet Girl.
Right, I saw it.
Yeah, so I was there at the gala.
Oh my goodness,
pretending to eat, and but that didn't stop me of talking with everyone at the set. I talked to all the extras. I talked to the hairstylist, the makeup artist, the dresser, everyone there, and I shared with them about building bridges. And it was a really great experience that I'm not going to do again. 3 seconds for 15 hours.
I've been extra. I've been an extra in movies.
You are extra.
I'm Arthur. But several movies.
Yeah.
Brad. But if Jason Momoa is above me, I would not be an extra in that movie because they would ask me to leave.
Couldn't you just go like that real fast?
Probably.
I would be doing more than looking. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Did you find the wall?
I was just gonna say, but wait.
Yeah. So because I didn't find the wall, I start asking and looking and one time we went to dinner at this Turkish restaurant, and I saw this guy who worked there. I thought maybe he's the waiter, and I shared with him. And he told me, I'm the owner. What if we make it indoor? What do you think? I told him, okay. And he told me I own Keystone Cafe at 6th Avenue. It's closed now because of COVID. He told me I have a wall there. You can have it. So I painted 2020. I finished it in Martin Luther King Day because I love him. Who doesn't? Right. And with my family and friends. So it was my first mural ever. Then, through the years, like I still want that outdoor wall. So I saw a call for City Theater. They had a wall. And I thought, how can I, in the call, share that people want this too? So I start asking people with interview. I asked the first one. It was at Point Park University. I asked her, do you see the design? What do you think? I want to paint it as a mural. She thinks this is a great idea. Can you share a video? So that's how it started, asking that question. And then the question changed to, how do you build bridges between people? That's how it all started. For the canvas, how it started, I want to have that wall. And they, in the city of Pittsburgh, they invited me to join the World Square. It's the same time as the art festival. Okay. And it's for international, groups to come and display their art, their craft. They told me you can display your art there. So the day before, the next day is the thing in the market square. I thought, what if I sketch a small canvas and display it there and invite people to paint and ask them, if I find the wall, will you join me? So that was the first canvas, and that's how it came together. And I was at Hobby Lobby there, and I asked the lady, she worked there, I told her, what do you think? Is this a great idea? She said, yes, I will come to you. I will come to the market square. And she came, and I was standing there all day long. I was talking to everyone, and I didn't eat. So she told me, how are you? I told her, I didn't eat yet. So she said, I'm going to buy you lunch. She came and she bought me lunch, and she drove just to be there with me. And that weekend, 200 people painted and added their brushstroke, and people visiting from different states, they came. And 154 people signed their email. They said, when you find that wall, we'll come and join you and paint.
Did you find your wall yet?
So
how big is the wall?
So I want the original one in my vision was outdoor mural. But during the journey, I found many walls indoor. Still not that wall. And I'm glad I didn't found it, because if I found it, maybe I would have stopped. My friend before, she pointed that for me, because I didn't found it. So I start, talking to people, asking questions, going to these places that I never thought in my life, being an extra, doing all these uncomfortable things, Yeah, and now it's almost more than 40 locations in Pittsburgh.
I love that.
Wow.
Yeah. Are we still looking for our outdoor mural?
Yeah, I'm still looking.
How big does it need to be?
I don't know how big is it. I truly believe in divine timing. There is a time for everything, and I'm trying to learn to surrender to that. And I believe things are coming together. It's like our life is like a piece of puzzle, and each part of it is part of that puzzle, and we don't see the big picture. We only see just a teeny bite of it. That whenever we surrender and we keep moving forward, we can see a clear picture. There is this book, another book I read by Wayne Dyer. It's called I Can See Clearly Now. That guy.
So good.
Yeah. I think we got to find her a wall.
I know. We're going to have a mission to find a wall.
Yeah. Dionne's kind of in real estate.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
I might be able to find a building with a wall.
Yeah.
You want it to be in downtown? Is that what you're looking for? Does it matter?
Yeah, Yeah, I would love that, but it can be somewhere else, you
We're
know.
gonna build her a wall.
Yeah.
That's it.
But it's beautiful to see, when I ask that question to different people, how do you build bridges between people? And when I was in the market square, did I share this or not? I don't know. I'm lost in my thought. When I was in the market square painting that first canvas, a group of ladies came to me and they told me, one of the symbols is atheism. So they told me, we're atheists. We always felt left out. Thank you for including us.
That's interesting.
And I felt like I opened that space for them to share,
And that's not many people do that.
Yeah.
Not many people open that space for them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
This has been a wonderful interview.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So much information. So uplifting. Oh, we're gonna have to find you a wall.
Thank you so much.
Yes. It's gonna have to happen. Yeah. We're kind of goal driven, so yeah, just slightly. So
Find a wall.
well, we like to end all of our interviews with what we call a frostbite.
Yeah.
So Dionne has a list of questions. She
Oh.
gets to pick one
I love that.
to ask you, and that's how we end all of our podcasts.
Okay.
So I'm going to let
Ready?
Dionne ask you a
So,
question.
like everyone, you seem to answer a lot of them along the way. But this one, it says, what's the frostbite that keeps you sharp and ready to take on new challenges in your life and your field? So what's a little bite that keeps you sharp? Is it reading? Is it learning?
It's passion. Passion. Yeah.
Never ending passion, huh?
Yeah, I just, and then I get to fuel it with these meditation and with different things, learning different things.
Well, guys, that was another episode of Frostbites. Thank you so much for watching,